43. That's how old that guy, Tom Brady, is. He's in his 21st season in the league and going to his 10th Super Bowl. Now, in that Super Bowl, he's facing the Kansas City Chiefs. And on the opposing sideline, he has some former teammates and coaches. Cardiac Cuse is alive and well in Syracuse's matchup with Notre Dame on Saturday. The Orange were once down by 20, yet they pulled off a 75-67 victory over the Fighting Irish to keep their tournament hopes alive. Now, how do you come back from such a large deficit? The equation is actually pretty simple. It's a harassing press plus great defense times Buddy Buckets. Last season, Katie Sowers became the first female to ever coach in the Super Bowl. This season, there will be two, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have two female coaches on their payroll. Maral Javdifar, the assistant strength and conditioning coach, and Lori Locust, the assistant defensive line coach. Both coaches see Sunday's matchup as an opportunity to be role models for future women. North Carolina makes the trip up to Central New York, riding a 13-game winning streak, while Syracuse has dropped 3 straight but has a chance to get back in the win column today in the season finale. It's the number 1 Tar Heels taking on the number 11 Orange in an ACC field hockey showdown. Welcome everyone into the Cuse.com pregame show, getting you going for SU and UNC. I'm Jaron May, joined by Samantha Croston in the Newhouse studios. Rise and shine, everyone. It is the best time of the week. Time to make some moolah. Welcome in to Beat the Bookie. I'm your host, Jaron May. Before we get into our picks of the weekend, we got to give credit where credit is due. Cooper Boardman ended in the green last week in the first lacrosse show of the year. It's a rare occasion. That slots Coop into second in the 2021 standings, only behind Pat Gunn. We talked about Syracuse. We talked about North Carolina. Now let's compare these two, and let's look at their stats. Let's get nitty-gritty. Let's get statistical here, because when you look at them, all of the stats favor UNC. Why Syracuse is struggling so much on those penalty corners is because of the play of Amanda Hendry. The goalkeeper for UNC has been, let's just say, standing on her head, and especially on those penalty corners, diving, dodging, jumping, shutting down Syracuse. Wrapping up my picks of the week, we go to Arkansas Pine Bluff taking on Prairie View A&M. That is a mouthful. I know. Why isn't this one of our big games of the week? It's such a high-profile matchup. But in all seriousness, Prairie View has a shutdown defense. In just 2 games, the Panthers have 26 tackles for a loss, 10 sacks, and 3 interceptions. As for the Golden Lions, they have 29 TFLs, 11 sacks, and 4 INTs. The point I'm trying to make here is both of these teams are defensive-minded. So as much as this pains me, I'm putting $10 on the under at 51.5. I know, I'm sorry for taking an under. So Emma Ward steps up for Syracuse. 2 names that you also need to know. The Megan Show, one with an H, one without one. It's Megan Tyrell and Megan Carney. They have also stepped up in a big way. They have the same stats. This is kind of crazy, Samantha. 10 goals and 6 assists for both of them through the first 3 games. Let's go over to our final performer of the week, and it goes to Allison Small. Who else? She deserves this. Of the women's ice hockey team. The senior goaltender put on a clinic over the weekend against Robert Morris, tallying 49 saves in the first game, 35 saves in the second. And if you do your math correctly, Corey, I know that's difficult sometimes.
For you.
That's an average, 42 saves. I did have to use my calculator. 42 saves per game. Plus, she only allowed 1 goal in each matchup to the Colonials, which is a team that's scoring 3 goals per game on the year. Corey, you're the hockey guy. Is that good?
Guy. That is really good.
That seems good. And Erin Matson, we got to talk about her because she's currently the ACC Offensive Player of the Year, but she's all ACC. She's All-American. She's on the U.S. national team. The accolades could go on for days, Samantha. How does she impact this Tar Heels squad? The halftime highlights, here we go. Syracuse had quite a few opportunities at the beginning. Shots on net, shots on net, shots on net. That's the key, Samantha.
And it has been so far. We see they just do such a great job. They're patient on their offensive opportunities, too. There's never any shots that you think, oh, nothing was planned there. You know, they really work so well as a team together. And to them, I don't think it matters who scores. I think it just matters that the ball does go into the back of the net.
The 2 goals for North Carolina. First, Katie Dixon assisted to Hannah Griggs with that first goal, and you just saw it right there. Erin Matson capitalizes on the corner. And again, UNC leads 2-0. They lead in most statistical categories as well, Samantha. Syracuse and Pittsburgh at Heinz Field, those aren't real fans, those are cardboard cutouts, but if they were real fans, they'd be screaming for this play. Kenny Pickett hooks up with Jordan Addison for a 27-yard touchdown, 3-7 Pitt at that point. But then watch this, Tommy DeVito gets sacked. Story of his life, 7 sacks in that game. He heads off with a lower leg injury. That brings in backup quarterback Rex Culpepper, who was diagnosed with testicular cancer in 2018. He beat it, he gets back on the field, and he throws an absolute dime to Taj Harris. 69-yard touchdown, and at the halftime break, it was Pittsburgh 14, Syracuse 10. In the second half, Mikael Jones took over. The sophomore linebacker recorded an interception and a fumble recovery. The 3-3-5 defense is looking great up until this point where Jared Wayne hauls in a 17-yard touchdown and Pittsburgh grabs a 21-10 victory over Syracuse.